Hi, it's Pastor Paul L. Anderson here at the Fountain of Raleigh Fellowship, where we believe God's blessings never stop flowing. It is Marvelous Monday. God blessed us to give us a powerful weekend. The temperature changed a little bit, but we're so grateful. It is still spring, and God is springing forth his blessings to and through us all. Today, I hope you will find that this message will be a great benefit to you. I want to ask you the question, are you the man? You remember that question used to be asked. And so today, this question is being asked as we find out that God is doing something very powerful. He's about to anoint a new leader for Israel. He's about to allow the prophet to come and to anoint the new leader. But the prophet has some reservations about this because he was human, but he still had to listen to God. Today, I hope you can listen to God and you can find the right one. And I believe today you'll find out who the right one is. Our text on today comes to us out of 1 Samuel, the 16th chapter, verses 1 through 13. This is when Samuel anoints David to be the new king of Israel. Now, remember, it was during the reign of King Saul. Remember King Saul, he was that great leader who was head and shoulders among everybody else. Samuel had anointed him earlier because he had moved mightily. He had done great things. Saul had done so many powerful things. But Saul has now gotten to the point of his life where he has lost his anointing. He has lost his approval of God. And for that reason, God calls his prophet Samuel. He says, Samuel, Saul has lost his anointing. It's now time for a new leader. Samuel is saying, oh, no, Lord, wait a minute now. That's going to put me in an awkward situation because if he finds that out, he's going to have my head. God says, I got it all under control. You're going to know who's the man. So now the Lord tells Samuel, Samuel, I want you to go to see Jesse. Jesse has several sons, and one of his sons will be anointed to be the new king over Israel. He said, well, which one is it? How will I know? And so he goes to see Jesse and he tells Jesse, Jesse, the Lord wants us to do a purification. And for this reason, I don't want you to be alarmed. And so the word doesn't get back to Saul that a new king's about to be anointed, but it's a purification time. And so he tells Jesse, Jesse, bring me your sons. And so all of Jesse's sons come from the oldest one down to the youngest one that's in the house. And the Lord tells Samuel, it's neither one of them, but he tells Samuel something that is so important. He says, don't look at his countenance. Don't be moved by how tall he is or how strong he might appear to be to you, but he will be the one that I'll tell you that's the one. So Jesse parades all of his sons coming back and forth. The Lord tells Samuel, he's not the one. He's not the man. You're not the man. You're not the man. And he looks at Jesse. He says, Jesse, are these your sons? He said, yes, these are all of my sons. I just have one son left. He said, who's your other son? He says, David. But David is out taking care of the sheep because David is a shepherd. And so Samuel tells Jesse, I tell you what, we're going to take a moment to have lunch break. Go fetch him. So they send for this little boy by the name of David. Now, David, the text says that David was a brown complexion guy and that David spent his time out in the sun. He had some beautiful eyes. He had a beautiful countenance. And now when the prophet sees him come, the Lord tells him he's the man. Jesse, your youngest son, David, is going to be the new king of Israel. So Samuel does what the Lord has commanded and appointed him to do. He anoints him to be king even while he was a child before he walked into what God has in store for him. Oh, that's a powerful message in that for all of us. We cannot be moved by what people look like on the inside, but God will give us the yes in our spirits and in our hearts. Don't be confused by what people look like because it's not on what you see, but it's what God has put on the inside. Also reminds us that God can anoint us for something at an early age, but we have to grow into it. So my brothers and sisters, grow into it. So then you'll go like, he's the man. God is the one that I'm following. And whatever he tells me to do, I know I can do it because I have followed his advice. I encourage you, follow the advice of God because God would never lead you astray. And I'll see you on tomorrow.
To sow a seed to the Fountain of Raleigh Fellowship, visit our newly redesigned website, thefountainofraleigh.org, and select Sow a Seed from the homepage. Also, giving has been made easier with the new Fountain of Raleigh app, available now in the Apple App Store and Google Play Store. Download today, select Giving from the main menu, and then follow the directions to complete your giving through Subsplash.
Thank you so very much for all of your gifts and donations that you've given to the Fountain of Raleigh Fellowship. We thank you for what you've done in the past, what you're currently doing, and what you will do in the future. Your gifts and donations helps us to spread the gospel of Jesus Christ, not only locally, but throughout the world. Thank you again for your gifts, and may God continue to richly bless you. It is here at the Fountain that we believe that we are exceedingly and abundantly blessed, and may you receive those blessings that God has in store for you.